In LA this week.
Talk about thinking outside the box. This permanent supportive housing complex is built entirely with shipping containers from the Port of Los Angeles. And not only that, private money to boot. I'm Gil Reyes with the benefits next.
We go beyond the mat for a no-holds-barred look at downtown LA's pro wrestling promotion. That's next.
I'm Anna Marcos. Find out how the Photo Arc exhibit gets you to care about animals that may be extinct, threatened, or endangered. More on that coming up.
Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening in LA this week. They're not waiting for the government to fix the problem. As Gil Reyes reports, a group of investors have banded together to build homeless housing on their own.
To end homelessness, people say you need to think outside the box. So it's these types of boxes, idle shipping containers from the Port of LA, that are turned into permanent supportive housing units in South Los Angeles, at the first complex of its kind in LA.
Take people off the streets and put them into homes like this.
Kevin Harai from the group FlyawayHomes takes us on a tour. There are 8 units for formerly homeless tenants at Stephen K. Jones Supportive Community. Each unit houses 4 people.
And so part of that is this co-living unit, where we've got 4 individual lockable bedrooms and then shared bathroom.
But unlike other permanent supportive housing built here in Los Angeles with taxpayer dollars, this is the very first built with private money. Investors say that's expected to build things faster, cheaper, and with a modest return for investors as a bonus.
It's structured like any other real estate investment, where our master tenant pays rent, and then that rent pays expenses, and at the end of the day, there's a 5% return.
FlyawayHomes says another advantage to using private money is avoiding much of the government red tape. While homeless housing funded by Triple H tax dollars takes more than 3 years to build, this was built in less than a year.
Part of these zoning codes is, you got to capture, can you believe you got to capture all the water that hits the roof of your property. And all of it is collected and diverted down to these tanks. Wow. So these tanks collect the rainwater. This whole community has been adopted by a local church. And so they will help the tenants to garden, weed the garden, harvest the vegetables as they grow.
Because it takes a village and maybe some corrugated shipping containers to build a supportive housing community.
There are also 2 case managers on site. FlyawayHomes is affiliated with the nonprofit The People Concern. That group supported the construction of downtown's temporary homeless trailers in El Pueblo. A chance at reunification for some immigrant families, as a special visa allows their Mexican relatives to come for a short visit. Councilmember Gil Cedillo's office hosted this emotional reunion.
We are here at a very emotional, very historic event. Well, our country seems to be in disarray, taking children from families, blocking families who are coming north in search of freedom and democracy. And we are here today uniting families.
My dad is finally going to be able to see his parents after several years. We're just waiting for them to arrive here. And this will be my first time meeting my grandparents. So it'll make me feel even more emotional seeing how my dad's going to react, and me obviously seeing my grandparents for the first time.
This is my first time meeting my grandfather, so it's just a great feeling. And I honestly didn't think it was going to happen, but we just kept trying, and eventually, he's here.
With this event, it can show a lot of people that not everyone that comes over here comes illegally. There's people that actually come and do it the right way, the legal way.
much of the challenges that confront the country on the question of immigration is really the fact that we don't have a comprehensive immigration reform. That's the challenge. Every person that has an opportunity to come here legally would. We need immigration reform, and we need it now. We need political leadership in Washington. We don't need the division that continues to be articulated from the White House. We're not only a history of immigrants and a nation of laws, but the future of our nation and of our city is dependent upon the immigrants integrating into our society and us utilizing their tremendous resources for the betterment of our community.
Turning now to the largest multimedia musical instrument in the world. And after decades of neglect, downtown LA's so-called Triforium comes alive again.
Angelinos are about to get treated to a mega music light show right in the shadow of City Hall. Call it a polyphonoptic party.
Polyphonoptic means multiple lights and music. And what it was supposed to be was the sculpture that would be responsive to music.
It all started in 1975 when artist Joseph Young created the Triforium sculpture above the LA Mall, a 60-ton, 6-story public artwork made of 1,500 colored glass cubes that were supposed to glow in time to music. But the computer software at the time wasn't good enough. The largest musical instrument of its kind in the world was a little ahead of its time.
So it was a very visionary piece at the time. The reason that it didn't work was that the technology at the time was not as advanced as what the artist really wanted to do.
Cut to more than 40 years later, new computer software and a grant from the LA 2050 Foundation to the nonprofit group Now Art LA has brought a rebirth to this public musical instrument. This time, it actually works.
I think it's a lovely design. Great lines, has a lot of texture.
It's hopefully going to spur some interest in the public to keep this sculpture and to preserve it in some way, shape, or form.
Among the intermission attractions, a puppet party.
This is a fun night. This is what the plaza's for. This place usually isn't have any people in it, but this is how it should be.
3 nights of polyphonoptic partying, and maybe next year, if funds come through, they just might do it all over again.
Several artists, including Reggie Watts and Bob Baker, were among the performers. Well, it's a place that helps men and women transform their lives through love, support, and hard work. Homeboy Industries recently celebrated a strategy that has proven successful over the last 30 years.
It's a very special evening here at the Central Library in downtown Los Angeles. We are launching a very, very special exhibit called Radical Kinship, and it celebrates 30 years of the great work of Homeboy Industries. We're really excited about this exhibit. It's an important story, and it's an important LA story. And there are really some powerful images in the gallery, so we hope many more will come in the coming weeks and months. Anytime one can listen to Father Greg talk about the mission and the goals and the accomplishments of Homeboy Industries, it's always a powerful time.
I'm in all the detention facilities where I say Mass. I hand out my card. I always say, no matter how many in the crowd, when you get out, there's my cell phone number. Call me. I'll tell you to come in. You'll start work the next day.
I am the photographer at Homeboy Industries. I grew up in Loyal Heights. I think I was in the 1st or 2nd grade when I witnessed the first murder. We were playing kickball in the elementary school, and a homie's running, he's being chased, he gets corralled, he gets beat to death. The common thread I have with a lot of homies there, a lot of homies We should have died a long time ago in so many different ways, but for some reason, we're not dead. We're still alive. And there must be a reason for that. And for me, this is my reason. This is to do what I do here.
My inspiration comes from the homies, you know, and the day won't ever come when I have more courage, or I am more noble, or I'm closer to God than they are. And so I get life from knowing them and walking with them.
The stories that this exhibit tells through images and words will hopefully impact many, many people and share with people this incredible history that is Homeboy Industries. Come on down to Central Library, enjoy the exhibit and all the other great things our libraries have to offer.
Talk about girl power. A female-run pro wrestling promotion is putting the glam in body slam and playing it up for laughs.
I'm a big fan of burlesque, and he's a big fan of wrestling. And so he came in to me one day and said, "Oh my God, there's wrestling and burlesque."
And that is what they're standing in line for outside of the Mayan Theater in downtown Los Angeles. A night of backdrops, body slams, and burlesque. In other words, Lucha Vavoom. We head backstage from Hill Street to ask co-owner and performer Rita DeAlbert, why are people so into this?
Physical comedy has been with us forever, from Greek times, you know, through all the way through to silent films and music hall. And it always works. This translates to everybody, whatever age you are, whatever culture you come from.
With an emphasis on acrobatics, traditional lucha libre, or Mexican pro wrestling, really took off in the 1940s with the first masked Mexican megastar, El Santo. El Santo wasn't just a wrestler or luchador. He was a movie icon, a folk hero who lived and breathed the part in and out of the ring. Other masked superheroes of the squared circle would follow.
They embody this character in the mask. They're never seen without it. I love that whole mystery. And it's something that's really missing in American culture. We don't have an equal. You know, it'd be like if whoever plays Spider-Man these days just was always in that mask, and you never knew what actor it was, and they didn't care. Like, they were happy to be known as Spider-Man.
Add some comedy, add a little of this, and you get Lucha Vavoom, wowing crowds in Los Angeles since 2003.
It is a mixture of sex and violence, but it's sort of in a cartoony sort of way, so it's not raunchy, it's like, but it's really like, can I say badass? It's badass.
So I am actually the reigning champ currently. I've been wrestling for these guys for a few years now, and my character is definitely a little more sexy. I attack people with my own ass, so people always enjoy that. Weird, huh?
That's my cat's name, Calvin.
All comedy aside, these are highly trained performers with years of experience under their championship belts. Many of them have worked for World Wrestling Entertainment and other sports entertainment promotions.
They bring people from Arena Mexico, from AAA, from Japan, from everywhere. Like I was part of WWE too. There's some ex-WWE that are going to wrestle tonight too. I mean, Lucha Vavoom tries to give the people the best they can.
We've been all over the United States. We've been in Japan. We've been all over Australia. There's times we're coming back and we're just sore, tired, but that's what this is about. We love doing what we do.
I feel like our show should be the WWE. We're so much more fun. I want them to work for me. I don't want to work for them. It's really the best job a person could ask for.
Lucha Vavoom rumbles back to downtown LA around Valentine's Day. Learn more at luchavavoom.com. Paint was flying all over the place in downtown LA as artists battled it out for the top spot in a national championship. Here's a look.
We're here at the Art Battle Los Angeles City Finals. It's the culmination of the series here of the Art Battle events, live competitive painting, the best of the best. In 3 rounds, we're going to determine who is this year's 2018 LA Art Battle City Champion. It's a great time, and people are out here experiencing art. It's so unusual to have a visceral experience with art. I mean, of course, the best of the best really makes you feel something, but here, you're inside the creative process of not just one artist at a time, but 8 artists at a time, and it's a fantastic experience, and it bridges boundaries, and it exposes people in a way that they have not been before, unless they've been to Art Battle, of course.
This gives a lot of painters and artists exposure to each other, but also to the community, and it also brings the community in and they can see art created, which is something that most people don't get to see.
No, I love it because of what it does for the artists. To see an artist win or to see an artist lose, it's so emotionally meaningful in a way that in many of our experiences in life that they aren't. It's so punctuated, it's so direct, you know.
I'm not one for the spotlight, so this gives me a bit of a rush and a change from being at home in the studio.
LA's the perfect city for it. It's a vibrant, diverse crowd. They care about art. They care about art in a performative way. They're very supportive. It's a fantastic crowd, and we're thrilled to bring the national championships here.
I think this event is an incredibly fun thing, and if you've never been, you should definitely come.
The Art Battle Championship will be held in downtown LA November 28th with even more live painting. Los Angeles is on the cutting edge of the healthy local food trend. Food Day LA is just one of 8,000 such events that happen around the country.
LA is fast making a name as the good food capital of the country. City leaders held the 8th annual LA Food Day, a combination of farmers market and outdoor workshop on all things related to the so-called good food economy, one that produces healthy, affordable, and sustainable food.
This is, I would say, 4 times larger than what we had last year. And it is my honor to encourage everyone to try the food, learn about all the different healthy products and healthy options.
And again, talk about healthy eating, organic food for those who are minorities who may not have that at home.
Good food economy provides access to healthy food for all communities, and it also provides access to good jobs and economic opportunity for all.
Los Angeles has become really one of the food leaders of the United States. Our food here is creative, it's innovative, it's entrepreneurial.
In fact, LA has been honored by the United Nations for its Good Food Purchasing Program, which has pumped $15 million into local food economies. The program is now spreading across the country.
6 years ago today, the City of Los Angeles became the first institution to adopt the Good Food Purchasing Policy, a landmark policy directing departments to purchase food that reflects our shared values in supporting local economies, nutrition, environmental sustainability, fair labor, and animal welfare.
California now also has the Safe Sidewalk Vending Act, which decriminalizes street vendors and brings more variety and access to local food economies.
Yeah, part of my vision for a good food economy is having street vendors really help activate our streets.
Meanwhile, city leaders are also encouraging grocery stores in food-poor urban areas like South LA to provide more fresh produce and organic foods.
As the richest country in the world, and we're in the richest state and the richest country in the world, everybody in our midst ought to have food, they ought to have good quality food, and it ought to be very accessible to them.
As for the good foods available right here at this event,
I liked it because it had good flavor to it than other normal foods.
LA may have just won itself a new convert to healthy eating.
The city also honored businesses that are good food champions and which provide healthy, affordable food to their community. Well, food was also on the minds of hundreds of Angelinos who came out for LA's first Filipino Angelino Food Festival and block party to enjoy some ethnic Filipino dishes created by some of LA's most innovative chefs and restaurants.
Eat, play, move. That's what it is. This is a traditional Filipino crispy pata. It's basically a pork leg that's deep fried, but this time the traditional one is just deep fried and dry. This time they made it so special because now it's smothered with spicy sauce over rice, so you can't go wrong with that.
It's nice seeing all the Filipinos come together, support each other, and support the local community.
So I think this is a really cool event. It kind of puts the Filipino mainstream food in the spotlight. So, you know, even if you're not Filipino, you can come down here to LA and try like various dishes.
Highlight for us today has been the food and the drink, obviously, but it's the people. You know, you meet so many cool people. We're all enjoying the same thing. We're all out here just showing some love for the Filipino and Filipino-American communities, and we're loving it.
I think it's really great. It's a way to get people together. Food, I think, is a big cultural thing that is easy to get people together, whether you're Filipino or not. I think, you know, getting a community together is always a benefit.
You may think you're just going to see wildlife photography, but you'll get a lot more at the National Geographic Photo Arc exhibit. You may actually start to care about the fate of endangered animals.
Wildlife photographer Joel Sartori is on a mission to photograph 12,000 of the world's most threatened, endangered, or close to extinct animals and get people to care about what happens to them. So far, he's photographed more than 8,000.
And I think humans are hunting them, which is not okay, and I think we should do something about it.
Sartori's photography has led to this National Geographic Photo Arc exhibit at the Annenberg Space for Photography.
He actually travels to zoos, so all of the 8,400 species that he has photographed have been animals that are in human care, and so he travels to zoos across the nation, across the world.
So how do you get creepy, crawly, feathery, furry creatures to pose and sit still? Easy. They don't always. You just have to catch that magic moment from inside white boxes, black boxes, in front of dark and light backdrops. Almost always, at some point, if you're patient enough, a memorable photo is born.
I'm really into photography and I'm taking a lot of photography classes, so I thought it'd be cool to see images of animals.
The exhibit has several interactive stations like this one where you answer 15 questions to find out what kind of an animal you are. I have answered 13 of them. I have 2 more, so let's see. My favorite dinosaur, and I am a night owl, and let's see, I get lion.
Like, I've never seen a lot of these animals. It's cool to see them.
Some of the animals are endangered, their populations shrinking, while others are coming back from the brink of extinction. Sadly, this was the last known Columbia Basin pygmy rabbit. It died at the Portland Zoo and is now thought to be extinct. The white rhino is close behind with only 2 known animals left, but they may come back yet.
The white rhinoceros, we only have 2 females left, and so we have scientists on 4 different continents that are working to see what they can do to continue that species. So, for example, they are studying to see if they can create an embryo.
We thought we were just going to see pictures of cute animals, and it really does bring to life for them how important it is to make sure that these animals stay around so that future generations can enjoy them.
I think animals are really important for the world and what they do, so I think it's really heartbreaking that animals are going extinct.
While getting the white rhinos back is still up in the air, it seems Sartori has succeeded in his primary mission, getting humans who see his animals to care.
Sartori has visited 40 countries in his quest to photograph as many of the animals as possible. Well, speaking of animals, experience the wonder and magic of this year's must-see holiday lights at the LA Zoo. Unleash your creativity at an art and craft fair and hit the ice in downtown LA. All this in this week's Things to Do. LA's must-see holiday light experience returns and promises to shine more brightly than ever, with a dazzling new area to explore and luminous updates throughout. Explore a magical wonderland of animal-inspired light displays while enjoying classic seasonal delights under the stars at the LA Zoo. Highlights include a brand new version of the popular Twinkle Tunnel, a dramatic musical water and light show, a glittering disco ball forest, real reindeer, and visits with Santa on select nights. LA Zoo Lights is open nightly 6 to 10 p.m. from November 16th through January 6th, excluding November 22nd, December 24th, and December 25th. Barnsdall Art Center presents Barnsdall Art and Craft Fair. The fair is free, kid-friendly, and a wonderful way to enjoy art with friends and family. Just in time for some holiday shopping, you can expect a fun day as you purchase homemade goods, catering to all tastes and budgets in support of local artists. Barnsdall Art and Craft Fair showcases diverse work from the Art Center students and faculty, including handcrafted jewelry, ceramics, cards, prints, paintings, drawings, and photography. Browse work from local artisans and find the perfect holiday gift, from the next statement piece to the ideal coffee mug. Located next to the world-renowned Frank Lloyd Wright-designed Hollyhock House and a stone's throw from the LA County Museum Art Gallery. The Arts and Crafts Fair takes place on November 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Barnsdall Art Center in LA. You gotta have some fun on the ice this winter season, so strap on your skates or rent some and hit the Pershing Square Ice Rink. The 7,200 square foot rink will be open through January 21st, and more than 50,000 people are expected to strap on the blades during the 2-month run. Lots of events are planned on the ice that will sure to keep the whole family entertained. For a list of events, go to HollywoodIceRinkDowntownLA.com. And that's a look at some things to do. That's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitywiew.org and check out our newest social media videos, LA This Minute. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.